Hello friends, today I want to share with you how I created this fun Slimeline rainbow birthday card. So let's get into it. Today I'm going to be using this stamp set from MFT called Birthday Chicks. I just love this stamp set. The little birds are so sweet. I'm also going to be using this Slimline Birthday Wishes from Mama Elephant's newest release. First thing I wanted to do is I wanted to ink up my rainbow panel first because I'm going to make sure that it sets aside to dry so that we can do some splattering and things later on. I'm just going to be using these three primary colors, Squeezed Lemonade, Candied Apple, and Salty Ocean to create my rainbow. So you don't have to have every color of the rainbow in order to create a rainbow background. As long as you have the three primary colors, you can create a rainbow background. I decided to use my oxide inks. You could easily use your regular distress inks as well. I just felt like using these ones. They were handy right here on my desk. And they turned out really good. I had a little bit of like ink transfer onto my yellow ink pad, but I ended up getting it cleaned off and it worked out just fine. And I do apologize if I sound a little funny. I'm still getting over this head cold. I was feeling pretty good today, so I decided to do the voiceover for this video so I could get it posted for you guys. So if you hear me sniffling, I do apologize. So once I got the red and the yellow on here, I blended them in between to create a nice orange color. And I'm going to go in with the Salty Ocean on the other end, clean off my panel so I don't have any ink transfer, so I can create a nice green. Now, this does take a little bit of work because these are oxide inks and they do sit on top of each other in a way. So you do have to work work them around pretty good to get them to blend nicely. And this is where I got my ink transfer. You can see on my ink pad there I got a little bit of the blue, but that's okay. You can just wipe it or kind of rub it off onto a clean piece of cardstock and it'll come right off. So I just worked through this I wanted to add a little bit more yellow and I was happy with it. It's not, a super bright rainbow, but it works out just great for this card. We'll get this nice and done, and we're going to set it off to the side to dry. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not going to set it off to the side to dry. My brain is so scattered. We're going to spritz it with some shimmer spray first, just to kind of help those colors blend and add a little bit of interest in the background. Now, I ended up getting a little bit of color on that one part, but it's okay because I'm only going to be using a portion of this panel to cut out my die. And I just went over it with that ink pad again, and it worked out just great. I'm trying to get a little bit more yellow to show up on there. I think next time what I'll try to do is I'll try to use my regular distress inks and see if I get what kind of rainbow I get with those ones. Now we're going to get into the coloring. I've already pre-stamped my images on some Neenah Solar White cardstock, and I'm using MFT's Extreme Black ink. And I have all the colors that I'm using to color in all of these sweet images on the side here, so if you're wondering. I decided to go with a rainbow palette. I colored all of the little birdies yellow. That was going to be my main yellow. So then all of their accessories, I decided to color them in rainbow colors to kind of match with the theme. I didn't end up using the balloons here. I do show the coloring of those in case anybody is interested, but I don't end up putting them on my card. I save them, put them back in the stamp packaging, and so I could use them for another card. And I'm just going darkest to lightest. There isn't really an actual way to color with Copics. This is just the way that I like to do it. You get a little bit more control if you go lightest to darkest. This way is just a little bit quicker for me. Every once in a while I'll go lightest to darkest, but I like going darkest to lightest whenever I'm just trying to get through a card when I kind of have a little bit of limited time. And these images were really fun to color. I love Birdie Brown. I'm trying to not really collect, but try to get as many Birdie Brown sets as I can, just because she's not creating anymore. But these ones are really sweet. I've had my eye on them for quite a while, and I was really excited to get them. I think my favorite little birdie is this one with all the cupcakes, because that would totally be me at a party. I'd be the one carrying all the cupcakes away. Just go over all those little birdies. I like to go over them twice to kind of intensify the colors. And I love all the colorful birthday hats. So while I'm finishing up this coloring here, I just wanted to chat with you guys real quick and kind of say a big thank you. I know I mentioned it in my last video, but I am completely in shock and just excited and thrilled at everyone who has supported my channel, who has liked it, subscribed, commented, all of that. You guys really keep this channel going. I do all of this for you guys, and I'm so thrilled to have you guys here. And I can't believe I've got people from all over the world watching. It's really kind of humbling and interesting to see. So again, thank you guys so much. No words can express how grateful and thankful I am to have all of you here helping support my hobby. Once I had all of those colored, I went in with my number 10 Jelly Roll pen and decided to go in and add some white highlights. But I wanted to add some glitter as well. So if you want to add glitter and white highlights, always add the glitter brush pen first and then add your white highlights, because the glitter brush pen will basically erase that white gel pen. I'm not sure if it's just something to do with the glitter pen or the way that the gel pen's made up, but if you're going to do white gel pen and glitter, make sure you do the glitter first. So now I'm going to go in, now that that's on there nice and dry, and add those white highlights. Again, I didn't use the balloons, but I can save them for another card. Add some white detail to their little cheeks, along the sides of their bodies. I don't really have a particular light source that I use. I just kind of go with what I think looks good. And these little chicks turned out so cute. And I like how you can personalize all their accessories for like a certain color combination, or if you're giving a birthday card to somebody who likes a particular color, you could do that as well. They're so sweet. I love how they look like little chubby birds with tiny feet. I think that's cool. Next, I'm going to take the coordinating dies and I'm going to cut all of these sweet images out, and then we can start getting our card assembled. I just love the dies. They leave a nice white border around them and they're so sweet. Next, we're going to take our rainbow panel and we're going to take that big Slimeline birthday wishes from Mama Elephant, and we're going to kind of put it on the panel at an angle, and we're going to cut it out. And I just love how this turns out. It is so awesome. I really like this technique. I'm going to have to use this again. This is the first time I've done kind of like an ink blended die cut. I usually just die cut them out of regular cardstock, so I was really pleased with how this looked. At first I was going to just take all of these images and lay them flat on the black card base, but I decided I didn't like that, so I took the Mama Elephant Slimline Basics die set and I took the stitched rectangle and I cut it out of some nice white cardstock, and I'm going to use that to put on the panel, and then that way it creates a nice black mat around my little scene here. And I really think that this rounds out the image. Instead of having all of that black, it kind of tones it down a little bit, and I think it really helps make the images and the sentiment stand out better. I'm just using some Tombow Mono Multi-Glue to attach this down to my Slimline card base. And it is cut to 8.5 by 7, and I scored it at 3.5. And I think that looks so much better. And I'm just going to take all of my little birdies here. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm going to do the second part of our sentiment. And I'm just using the Mama Elephant birthday greetings, and I'm going to heat emboss it on some black cardstock. I believe this is some Simon black cardstock. I just some scrap that I had in my stash. And I'm using the Eat Your Cake or Your Cake Too, or Eat Your Cake Too? I can't remember. Like I said, my brain is still kind of a little bit like fried from this head cold. I just can't get it to go away. I'm using some Versamark ink. It's a nice sticky ink for heat embossing, and I'm going to be using some Brutus Monroe Alabaster White embossing powder. Going to make sure that my heat gun is nice and hot so that this melts the heat embossing pretty quickly so that it doesn't warp my paper. And once that's all nice and smooth and melted, I'm going to take a banner die from MFT and cut out this sentiment using one of their flag end banner dies. Now, you don't necessarily have to have banner dies. You can freehand cut this. It was just a little bit more convenient for me today. Next, I'm going to take all of my little images here, and before I decide to use any adhesive, I'm going to lay out where I want these little birds to be. I did kind of have, a rough idea with a little sketch that I had done, of what I was looking for. So I went through and just kind of placed them around where I'd like them to be put, and then that way I know where I want them, and then I can start adding the adhesive. So I'm going to take the birthday wishes, and I'm going to just use some Tombow glue and have it nice and flat against the background so that I can pop the birds up around it. And I'm just using some Tombow glue, getting that put in place, and of course it shifted on me, so I ended up with glue everywhere. Me and my glue recently have just not been having a good go of it. And we're just going to take some 3M foam tape, and we're going to pop up all of these little birdies using that 3M foam tape. And I really like this one. I'm not really sure where I got this particular kind, but I feel like it's a lot thinner than the other ones that you can purchase. I'm not sure if it's just a different brand or what, but I really like it because it's not super duper thick. It's perfect for just adding a little bit of dimension. And I liked how they're kind of overlapping the greeting. It just kind of adds a little bit of character. And I really struggled with this last little birdie. I really wanted to have him on there and kind of round out the image. And I'm just using some Darice 3M foam tape to pop up my other part of my sentiment here. Get that lined up right across there. And it says, "Have your cake and eat it too." Next, we're going to go in and add some finishing details. This is one of my favorite parts. I do apologize if my head gets in the way. I'm just taking my black gel pen and darkening their little eyes just to give them a little bit more character. I really think that this adds to these stamped images. Again, I apologize if my head gets in the way. I just wanted to make sure I had gotten that on there perfect. Next, I'm going to take some Tombow Mono Multi-Glue, or not Tombow Mono, this is Multimedia Matte. Again, my brain is not working. And some of these Darice Silver Stars. And I'm just going to add a few of them here and there, just to add a little bit more shine to the card. These are, like I mentioned in several videos, these are some of my favorite star sequins. I have never been a big fan of sequins, but these ones, I love the way that they catch the light. And you guys have know if you've watched my videos that I've been using these quite a bit. You get a ton of these little stars, and these are going to last for quite a while. I've even used them in shakers, and I still have a ton of them left. I'm just randomly placing them around our little scene here. I didn't want to go too crazy because I'm going to take some Nouveau Crystal drops in Ebony Black. I know it sounds a little weird. At first I wasn't going to do this. I was a little hesitant. I was like, oh, do I really want to do this? And I ended up actually really, really loving it. I think it adds just a little bit more character to the cards. It really rounds out the images and adds just a little bit of something to it. I'm just adding small dots. I didn't want to do really, really big ones because I didn't want them to be too distracting. But I really think it helps kind of frame up the little scene with the other black that's going on. I think it really just finishes it off. And I'm trying to use more of my Nouveau drops because I love the way that they look on cards. Especially, I just feel like this really made it look nice. And then I'm going to take my Aqua Shimmer pen, add a little bit of shimmer to our sentiment here in the middle, and that will finish up this card for today. I want to thank you guys so much for coming by and watching the videos. If you like this one, go ahead and hit that like button, as well as the subscribe if you'd like to see more videos here at my YouTube channel. I'll see you guys again real soon. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye! On screen, I've got a few videos that I think you'll enjoy. Consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more videos at my YouTube channel.